Guys, what's going on? My name is Louis, and God bless every single one of you. Today is March 8th, 2024, and welcome to the Grand Supreme News channel. Alright guys, so we have some urgent information coming out. If you can, please share this video. And it says here, the Department of Defense has announced that over 1,000 soldiers with the Sleeping Giant Army's 7th Expeditionary Transportation Brigade out of once again, Virginia will participate in the construction of a temporary floating pier that would be anchored off the coast of Gaza. Guys, it's very important to please pray for the 1,000 soldiers. Now, once again, it says here, this part is very important. Boots on the ground, right? There will be no boots on the ground. Their job is they're going to build a floating, give me a second here, guys, a floating pier. But the problem here, guys, is that the Sleeping Giant soldiers could get hit. That's the big problem here. They could get hit while building this pier. All right, and like I said, this is something that we need to pray for. This here was announced yesterday by the Sleeping Giant leader when he gave that State of the Union speech. So we're going to see what's going on here, guys, and a lot of information is coming out. We need to pray for these Sleeping Giant soldiers. 1,000 are going to be sent. All right, so they're going to be deployed, and they're not going to step foot. They're not going to step foot on the Holy Land. They're just going to be there. They're going to build that pier. So we do have a lot of information here. So let's see what's going on in this one. Make sure you share the video. Give this video a big thumbs up. Hit that notification bell for future updates on live stream. All right, so let me take you to this one really quick. Let me just finish reading this one. All right. So there's a major operation that's about to take place. But this operation is going to be really, really, really hot. All right, once again, guys, it says the Department of Defense has announced that over 1,000 Sleeping Giant soldiers and Sleeping Giant Army's 7th Expeditionary Transportation Brigade out of Fort Eustis in Norfolk, Virginia, will participate in the construction of a temporary floating pier that will be anchored off the coast of the Gaza Strip and will be built utilizing joint logistic over the shore. Guys, you know all this is happening at the same time. The red heifer, April 22nd. It's like they're getting everything ready for these red heifer, the 5 red heifer that came from Texas. All right, so once again, it seems like all this preparation, I do believe, kind of lines up to red heifer. And you guys know that that is Old Testament scriptures that they do when it's, introducing to the world a Messiah, or what the Bible called the Antichrist in the end times. So once again, we don't do the red heifer. We have the New Testament, we have the gospel, we have the good news, and that's Jesus Christ. He is the true Messiah. So let's see what's going on here, guys. Once again, it says that the construction of the temporary floating pier that will be anchored off the coast of the Gaza Strip and will be built utilizing joint logistic over the shore elements from the Sleeping Giant Army and Navy, with the pier expected to take 2 weeks to construct and eventually providing over 2 million meals a day. They further state that the op is now underway with forces currently preparing to deploy, but that it will not require boots on the ground. Once again, in the strip, with the Sleeping Giant ground troops only involved in anchoring the pier. So they're just going to build the port, I guess. But again, they're sounding the alarm that the Sleeping Giant could get hit. They could get hit. Before a mission like this is even considered, the Sleeping Giant Department of Defense and the Sleeping Giant need to clearly state what they are willing to do if and slash or when these sleeping giant soldiers ships in the dock are struck by Persia-backed group, possibly causing, you guys already know. So that's the thing that concerns me. I pray for the sleeping giant soldiers. I pray that everything goes well. But we don't want to hear big breaking news. Something happened at operation, and yeah, it's not gonna be pretty. New details from DoD. Now there is a video here. Sleeping Giant is giving a very, very important message. All right, so I will share this video in my Twitter page. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. So new detail from DoD on the GAZA Maritime Corridor Emergency Mission. Over 1,000 Sleeping Giant soldiers will be deployed. Weeks to plan and execute, 60 days. The Sleeping Giant Army 7th Transportation Brigade Expeditionary from VA task. There's a lot more information here. The Sleeping Giant Navy will not play a role because it doesn't require combat capability. Working with military sea lift, command, and logistics support vessels. All right, so this is all the information here. Now, I want to pull up an article. Sending out prepare to deploy orders in process. Provide up to 2 million meals a day under SETCOM command. All right, so all this is very important, guys. Once again, like I said, I will share this link. There is a video, but I'm not going to show the video due to copyright. But yeah, that's the plan. That's the operation. All right, so they're going to build a temporary floating pier. All right, at the same time, you got all this preparation of the red heifer, which is going to happen on Passover. And those red heifer came from Texas. Out of the entire world, they found the red heifers that didn't have no white hair. And that, again, those red heifer came from Texas. All right, so, and you guys know Texas is going to see the great American eclipse. This is all biblical stuff here, guys. All right, so the Sleeping Giant released details Friday of its plans to construct a temporary pier of the Strip coast, to help flow more than 2 million meals a day into the territory using an established military capability that officials say can build and deploy the structure without having any Sleeping Giant troops on the ground. Over the next 60 days, roughly 1,000 Sleeping Giant soldiers will deploy to this region to build a floating platform where cargo ships can offload aid onto smaller military vessels, which will transfer them to a causeway attached to the beach, where trucks can pick it up and distribute it within the strip. Air Force, I'm going to skip his name. He's the one that's putting out the information. I guess that airdrop, seems like that airdrop is not doing good because today there was big breaking news. 5 people have passed, you know what, and my condolences and prayers to the families and friends that lost their loved ones. So I guess that's not working out, and I guess this is their next mission to build a floating pier. Now the concept that is being planned involves the presence of Sleeping Giant military personnel on military vessel offshore, but does not require Sleeping Giant military personnel to go ashore. Once again, the Sleeping Giant leader first announced the efforts on Thursday night during the State of the Union address. The capability, dubbed Joint Logistic Over the Shore, has most recently been used during exercise Talisman Sabre, writer said, an annual event based on, in Australia. All right, so there's a lot of stuff happening, But again, guys, keep your eyes on April the 22nd. All right, so they're gonna be bringing those red heifer, and they're not gonna use that red heifer for meal. They're not gonna be cooking them red. Actually, they will be burning them red heifer, but yeah, they're not gonna be using them as a meal. All right, so that air floating pier is not gonna be for the red heifer meals. So I do believe that a lot of this stuff going on, it goes connected. Alright, so the Sleeping Giant is identifying units to deploy to this region to start construction, he added, which will include soldiers from the 7th Transportation Brigade at Joint Base Legales. I truly apologize about that word. In Virginia. So what remains to be hammered out is how Sleeping Giant Command will be able to protect both the offshore pier and the causeway itself from striking by these group, HAMAS. The writer said that ISR is part of the planning process and could provide security through its own forces. Now, if these group truly does care about the Palest people, then again, one will hope that the international mission to deliver aid to people who need it will be able to happen and unhindered. Well, again, guys, I pray that everything goes well, but you guys know Sleeping Giant Base has been getting impact since October. You guys already know. So hopefully nothing happens to these Sleeping Giant soldiers. The causeway has the potential to increase the amount of aid flowing into this region by several orders of magnitude, supplementing trucks arriving daily through the region with ISR, as well as ongoing airdrops by the Sleeping Giant military. The Sleeping Giant carried out its 4th drop of aid via C-130 Hercules on Friday. Now, each plane carries about the same amount of aid as a truck does over land, though at points during the ISR and this group, Biblical War, up to 200 aid trucks drove into this region daily. The Sleeping Giant said Monday that the pace has dropped to 100 or fewer trucks a day. All right, so once again, that's what's going on right now, guys. And I mean, you gotta ask yourself, like, will those group, let me spell their name, HAMAS, will they strike the Sleeping Giant 1,000 soldiers, or will they strike the floating pier? Well, again, guys, we're gonna find out eventually, but yeah, hopefully everything goes well, and they are prepared, and they're making sure that give me a second here. There is a video here. There is a video, and I wish I could play it, guys. I truly apologize. I can't play that video, but it's a Sleeping Giant Department of Defense. They are giving the updates, an emergency mission, that's what they're calling it. So once again, before a mission like this is even considered, the Sleeping Giant Department of Defense and the Sleeping Giant need to clearly state what they are willing to do if and or when these troop ships and the dock are struck by Persia bad group, possibly causing, you guys know the rest. So again, please pray for the Sleeping Giant soldiers. They're going to be out there building this temporary floating pier to transport food, 2 million food per day. I think it's 2 million food per day. So again, like I say, guys, this is something big. An operation, emergency operation mission is going to take place. So 1,000 has been deployed. The operation begins today, I guess, and hopefully everything goes well. Live stream tonight. I got a live stream video after this one here, guys. Make sure you follow me on Grand Supreme News. And I want to thank everybody so much for the love and support. Please share this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for future updates and live stream. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, for those of you that want to give a life to Christ, you can email me. My email is in the description box. Me and my wife are here to help many and to lead many to the righteous path, and that's the path of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, Luis Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $1 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream every Sunday. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put your faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for he's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father but through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.